My name is Burke Bankston, and I am from the Central Virginia Governor's School in Lynchburg, Virginia. And my project is the effect of hydrophobic coatings on the efficiency of solar panels. So did you know that on average, the typical American household with solar panels or a business can spend $150 to $330 every solar panel cleaning? And it is recommended that you clean your solar panels at least every 6 months, and depending on where you live, it can be upwards of every 2 to 3 months. So a little bit of background about kind of my thought process to building this project. I established a rationale of utilizing solar panels for their maximum ability by applying these coatings to produce the most amount of energy possible, to develop a research question of how does the coating influence the effectiveness of a photovoltaic cell in its, or sorry, a solar panel in fancier terms, in its use of converting light energy to electrical energy. And then I could pose my research hypothesis of if a solar panel is covered in a transparent liquid film and or coating, or either or, then there will be an increased amount of electrical energy converted in weathering situations. So a little bit of literary background. Soiling buildup is based upon many factors. One major one is grain size of the particulate matter that could settle, producing the soiling effects. Manual and mobile cleaners are two methods to remove and reduce dust and soiling effects on solar panels, and these are less efficient and costlier than the coatings. Reduced performance can occur obviously from soiling effects on the glass by organic deposition. Pollution and environmental soiling can decrease efficiency, requiring more solar panel companies to start cover their panels in coatings. And the properties of the coatings allow for water to take off soil buildup that is on top of the solar panel, as it can significantly reduce transparency over time. So for my materials, two independent variables here. One is the applied coatings, and the four that I used were Rain-X, Clean and Repel, Gray System X, and Black System X. Rain-X and Clean and Repel are traditionally designed for car windows as a rain/water repellent. I personally use them on my car, and I was like, this would be pretty cool to test them. System X is a company that specializes in the sort of automobile glass and solar panel glass coating industry with the rain repellents. The gray is their older formula and the black is their newer formula. My other independent variable that I manipulated were the weathering conditions. And then the dependent variable obviously was the energy output, and the controlled variables, as you can see to the right in the photo, were the brand/type of solar panel that you can see angled at the light producing lamp. So for my methods, I bought 10 solar panels, and since I had 4 coatings, each coating got 2 solar panels, which would leave 2 for the control. I collected 400 total data points of 30 seconds apiece over 4 different weathering conditions of just light, water, sand, and the sand plus water. For the water technique, I sprayed 4 to 6 milliliters of water for each data point and collected the energy for 30 seconds, wiped the panel, sprayed the water, took the energy each and every time. For the sand, I laid sand on the panel, blew it off with a 2.5 meter per second fan for 10 seconds, and then tested it with the remaining dust, wiped it off, repeated each time for each data point. For the sand and water, I utilized both techniques, doing the sand and then the water, wiping it off, taking the data point each time, obviously. I took the energy from the 30 seconds from the solar panel, analyzed the results, and I would run a two-way ANOVA with replication and a following post hoc Tukey test. So for my results, this is just the this is the total energy output of every trial conducted on each solar panel. And as you can see, the lowest output was the gray System X and the highest output was the black System X. And they are labeled 1 and 2 as that was just how I identified them in my data taking process, just so that I could ensure which ones I was using. So my two-way ANOVA with replication test produced a p-value of 2.6 times 10 to the negative 129 with an alpha value of 0.05, which would then lead me to conduct a post hoc Tukey test, which then after running the post-hoc Tukey test, it would reveal a significance amongst all coatings and the control, except for the Rain-X. And as you can see down in the little table, the Rain-X, the last Rain-X in the column is lower than the D-min value, which denotes no significance. So for my discussions, a few things that I think if they had gone my way, it would have been a better experiment / study overall. Utilizing the outside properly for this experiment would have gone a long way in producing better results. As I tested in the middle of October to the middle of December, during those months, it was cold and wet, and I couldn't go outside with my laptop and everything to test with the sun. I struggled to keep the lamp at a consistent height as it was not well situated and held by clamps, and it could fall, and I had to remeasure it every time. And as I worked in a highly trafficked area, it made my setup vulnerable to outsiders who could move things and manipulate what I was doing. And then just a summary of these two sources right here is that soiling effects can hinder the efficiency of the solar panels if proper care is not taken. So a little bit of future and potential further research to go along with this. My research hypothesis was supported by my research that the coating covered solar panels did produce more electrical energy than those that did not, obviously excluding the Gray System X. In the future, I believe that the ability to use real glass covered solar panels would benefit me greatly, as the ones I used were plastic and all the coatings purchased were commercialized and advertised for the use on glass. For the soiling effects, I think it would be better if I could use real soil that could build up over longer periods of time than just laying the sand on there and testing it. I think both of those things would truly benefit this project. Definitely looking into more ways to utilize these coatings and ensuring the longevity of solar panel energy for the long run, as it is crucial in the fight against fossil fuels. These hydrophobic coatings used in the real world would not only provide a more clean solar panel for longer and more energy output, but also less money spent on cleaning costs globally, and a little bit of literary support for that statement, that an implementation of self-cleaning anti-dust coatings is thought to be comparable to the cleanliness of a manual cleaning job at the non-expense of labor. This is my literature cited. My acknowledgements. I would like to give a major thank you to Dr. Mr. Douglas and Mrs. Shamit for guiding me through this eventful research journey and never losing hope. Dr. Smith for teaching me the necessary skills and techniques and inferential statistics to conduct my analysis tests. My man Aaron, the sales representative from System X, for his thoroughness and contact and consistency in ensuring my satisfaction. And lastly, Sierra Nawful for this PowerPoint style and layout. You are a true lifesaver. And then questions.